What's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome to another looking back video. This time we're going to be talking about Evoland Legendary Edition, specifically Evoland 1. The reason why I'm not talking about Evoland 2 yet is because I haven't, spent enough time in the game to really formulate an opinion. But I did spend enough time in Evoland 1, which is part of the package of Legendary Edition. So essentially, the Legendary Edition contains 1 and 2. And they were both, I think, phone games in the beginning, and then they got released like on other platforms and stuff. The Legendary Edition contains both, and it's $20. So as we usually do, we're gonna I'm gonna read off the store page to give you an idea of what you can expect of that game. You can see a little bit of gameplay behind me, and yeah, so hold tight. So Evoland is a journey through the history of action/adventure gaming, allowing you to unlock new technologies, gameplay systems, and graphic upgrades as you progress through the game. Inspired by many cult series that have left their mark in the RPG video gaming culture, Evoland takes you from monochrome to full 3D graphics and from active time battles to real-time boss fights, all with plenty of humor and references to many classic games. Now, this is exactly what happens in the game. It's a really good description because that's exactly what you're getting. So when you start the game, you're like monochrome, like almost like Game Boy, like regular Game Boy gameplay. And then as you progress through the gameplay, you will find chests and stuff. And when you open the chest, it's either going to be an item that's going to help you out, or it's going to be literally an upgrade to the game. So you're going to get like, oh, like color. Oh, like now you have a soundtrack. Oh, now you have a saving system. Oh, now you have like I don't know, like the graphic changes. Now you went from like 8 bits to 16 bits. Oh, you went from 16 to 32 bits, and so on and so forth. Like, oh, like you're getting like a different fighting system that allows you to go from like the action gameplay you see over there to like a fighting system that resembles like a Final Fantasy, like a turn-based. And that specific idea of like teaching you and showing you how game evolved over time is really freaking cool. Honestly, I was literally like almost blown away by the quality and the cleverness of the game, and what it teaches to younger folks. When like a kid nowadays will start gaming and they'll see like games mostly like that come out like AAA titles, and they'll be looking super good, and they will know that like we went through all of these like iteration of gaming and RPG and stuff to finally end where we are today. And that game teaches you that stuff, and it's really freaking cool. So the as I usually do, we'll do a list of pros and a list of cons. I'm not gonna give it a rating, like I don't give a score out of 10 or something, because this isn't like a full review. It's more like my thoughts about the game, and then I will tell you my opinion if you should buy the game or not. Again, this is going to be like the part 1 of 2 parts essentially for the Evoland Legendary Edition, because I'm only going to be talking about Evoland 1. So a list of the pros. Tons of humor. Tons. It is packed with humor. I was laughing my ass off the entire time. It's really cool. You'll see NPCs, and you'll see their name, and they remind you of names of other NPCs you've seen in other JRPG titles. There are like tons of references to other games. It's incredibly fun, especially if you've been a long time player of those type of games, and now you're playing it through Evoland, and you're gonna recognize like 99% of them or 100% of them, and it's really freaking cool. Like just the top of my head, like there's a guy that has an airship. Obviously he's called Sid, but like it's Sid like with an S instead of being a C. Like there's a bunch of stuff like that. Like you talk to them. There's a card game. It's literally Triple Triad, but it's not called Triple Triad. It's called something else, but it's literally what that is. You're getting like all those like you just saw, like this is the Noria mines, not the Moria mines, the Noria mines. Like this is really cool. There's a bunch of other stuff as well, like shit, what else? There's like a shadow version of yourself you need to beat, kind of like Shadow Link. There's a certain character that dies in the exact same way that that another character dies in another video game, another JRPG. Like even the monsters, like right now you can see on screen, like they're called Zumbas, but they're Goombas, but like rendered in 3D. There's even like plants from Mario rendered in 3D. You know, the carnivorous plant that come out of the pipes, and you have to fight them. And like, there's so many nods. The game is filled to the brim with nods to other titles. It's really freaking cool. And yeah, so there's also the gameplay is fun and varied. Really cool. I like that depending on where you go and as you evolve the game, you get various gameplay style. So the first few dungeons, the first few things you're going to do are going to be very much like a Zelda game. Then later on you'll get like gameplay that resembles more like a Final Fantasy, specifically like Final Fantasy VII, for example. And then you'll get like at one point the game turns into like a Diablo-like, and your health bar becomes like this health bubble at the bottom of the screen, and you gather like item from monsters, and there's even like references to the cow level and all that stuff. It's honestly, it's really nice, and every dungeon, every location, every area you go to is filled with puzzles. There's tons of puzzles everywhere, tons of different things to think about and figure out, and it was a fun time just trying to figure out like everything. I died a few times. The game isn't too hard, but it's not necessarily too easy. Like it's honestly really cool. The only thing I would say maybe about the bosses is that like once you figure out like their mechanics, they rarely change or deviate from that. So they become really easy, especially if you have to like try yourself against that boss like multiple times. It's not going to throw a curveball at you. Like once you figure out how to kill it, it's the same thing over and over and over again until it's dead. So that could be a pro and a con. Like it's fun to figure out like what you have to do, but as soon as you figure it out though, then it becomes super easy. That's basically the list of pros. There's not a lot of, like, the game is really short, guys. The game is incredibly short. Maybe that could be a con. Maybe it's too short. The game took me 3 to 4 hours to complete Evoland 1. It's incredibly short, especially when you consider the price point of $20. Stupid short. However, for $20, you get the first game and the second game. So I'll touch on that a bit later. The game itself is, like I said, it's really cool. You have a lot of puzzles. However, you can get stuck. I've been stuck. I got stuck twice in my playthrough. There are some puzzles where you have to switch in between two different style of graphics, and that allows you to interact with certain items or not. And I literally got stuck, and the only way to get unstuck was to kill myself with bombs, and then to get to the main menu, and then I could like get out and get back and reload my game essentially. If you get like, I couldn't press start and do load, right? I was stuck, and the only way I could like get out of it was literally to just like I said, like kill myself. There was no other way. Kill yourself and get out, and then get back in. Also, whenever you die, and that will happen, you get pushed back to the main screen, and you have to go back into like, you know, continue game, and then the game that you want, Evoland 1 for example, and then the save that you have in there. Like, it doesn't bring you like on the continue screen or back to at least the load thing inside the same title. It boots you back to the entirety of the very beginning menu, and then you have to navigate your way back to your save and then get back in the game. So that's a bit unfortunate. I list it as a con because it's just like adds more hassle for no reason. It's not that the game is too hard anyway. You don't die that often, but like whenever it happens, like it's cool to be able to get back in quickly instead of having to go through all that trouble. So they could have done like a little better job of that. The story is incredibly simplistic, like really simplistic. It's basically a mishmash of like all the other JRPGs you've played before, and just like mashed together into like a story. The world map is super small. There's not a lot to do. There's quite a few things to uncover. There's a lot of secrets, like you can acquire I think 30 secret star, they call them, that you can pick up in the game. So you have to like find the chest that contains these, and there's also like the cards, so that you can collect all the different cards for the card game, and then you can play the card game and become the card champion, which again is literally like a triple triad thing. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, so you can definitely go back and try your hand at finding all the secrets. I did the game like on my first try of the main game. I did like, I think I completed like 92%. So I managed to find like 92% of like literally everything. So I didn't do too bad there. Like there's a lot of stuff that I found. There's quite a few different like locations and puzzles I could not figure out, so I had to basically not, you know, basically wait, and like I'll come back to it eventually, and I'll try my hand again at finding all the remaining ones. But yeah, so my overall thoughts is the game was incredibly cool. I never played it before. Like, obviously, if you played this before and you're just like playing the Switch version again or another console version again, it's the same thing you've already played. So yeah, it's the exact same thing. However, I played it on the Switch. I had a lot of fun playing it. I thought it was like super cool as almost like a teaching tool to teach you, like in my case, reminisce on like on how games used to be made and how they're made today and all that stuff. So like a lot of people have been saying, telling me that essentially this game is basically like a tech demo, and yeah, I can see that. Like it's like a tech demo for Evoland 2. So yeah, should you buy it? For Evoland for Evoland 1 alone, like if you were just buying the game for Evoland at $20, it's a lot. Like it's honestly a lot. Like you're only getting like 3 to 4 hours of gameplay. So yeah, I would say if you were buying it only for the first game, obviously don't spend $20. However, since you're getting the second game, and the second game I've been told is like 20 hours long, then it starts to become a really freaking good deal. So, like I said, we're going to come back to this later once I have completed or at least played 5 hours of Evoland 2 to be able to give my own opinion. Like I said, I did finish Evoland 1 because it was so short, so it was super easy to finish. So yeah, I'll play more of 2, I'll come back and I'll give my opinion on the second game, and then I'll be able to tell you guys if it's like worth grabbing for both games together. But I can already, like from the little I've played of 2, I would say definitely a buy. Alright guys, I'll talk to you guys very, very soon in another looking back video, or maybe on stream if you catch me on stream. So yeah, stay safe guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.